There is a strange truth about human connection that many people never notice. Sometimes someone falls deeply in love with you not because of what you try to do, but because of who you naturally are when you stop trying to impress the world. Love often grows in the quiet spaces between words, in the small gestures you barely remember making, and in the moments when you simply allowed yourself to be authentic. You may think you did nothing special. Maybe you were just being kind. Maybe you listened carefully when they spoke. Maybe you respected their silence instead of forcing conversation. But to them, those moments meant more than you could ever imagine. In a world full of noise and superficial attention, genuine presence feels rare. And when someone experiences that presence from you, it touches something deep within them. People often fall in love with the way you make them feel about themselves. When someone feels safe around you, their mind relaxes. Their guard slowly drops. They begin to show parts of themselves they hide from everyone else. And without realizing it, you become a place of emotional refuge in their life. You might not notice the way their eyes search for you in a room. You might overlook how they remember small details about you that others forget. They may laugh a little louder at your jokes or become unusually quiet when you speak. These are not random reactions. These are signals of a heart quietly moving toward you. Sometimes the reason someone falls so deeply is because you treated them with simple human respect. You did not try to control them. You did not judge them for their weaknesses. Instead, you allowed them to exist as they truly are. That kind of acceptance is powerful. It creates a psychological bond that many people spend their whole lives searching for. But here is the irony. The person who is loved often remains unaware. They assume the other person is simply being friendly. They overlook the emotional energy that quietly grows beneath the surface. And sometimes, by the time they finally understand what was there, the opportunity has already passed. Love rarely announces itself loudly. More often, it moves silently through shared moments, through subtle attention, through emotional understanding that cannot easily be explained. Someone may be holding deep feelings for you right now simply because you gave them something the world rarely offers. Genuine connection. So before it becomes too late, look closer at the people around you. Pay attention to the quiet signals of care and admiration. Because sometimes the greatest love stories begin not with dramatic declarations, but with two people slowly realizing what was there all along. Genuine authenticity is one of the most magnetic forces in human relationships. When you allow yourself to be fully present, without masks or pretenses, you create a space where others feel safe to do the same. People are naturally drawn to those who are not trying to perform or impress. Because in a world full of expectations and facades, authenticity feels rare and refreshing. It communicates a sense of honesty and integrity that cannot be faked, and that alone fosters a deep emotional connection. Authenticity does not mean perfection or always having the right words. It means showing up as you are with your strengths and vulnerabilities intact. When someone witnesses this, it resonates on a subconscious level. They feel a subtle sense of relief and admiration because being around you does not require them to pretend or hide their own truths. Your genuine presence allows for an emotional exchange that is both honest and profound. It is in this space of authenticity that trust is built. And trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. People are more likely to open their hearts, share their fears, and reveal parts of themselves they normally keep hidden when they feel they are interacting with someone who is real. Emotional bonds formed in this way are stronger, more resilient, and more fulfilling because they are rooted in reality rather than illusion. Unlike charm or superficial charisma, authenticity cannot be turned on or off, and its effects are long-lasting. Those who are drawn to you because of your genuine self are not captivated by fleeting impressions or external appearances. They are captivated by the consistency, honesty, and emotional depth you bring into every interaction. This is why authenticity is not just attractive, it is transformative, creating connections that have the potential to endure and deepen over time. Small acts of kindness have a remarkable way of touching hearts and creating emotional bonds that run far deeper than we often realize. These gestures do not need to be grand or elaborate. Sometimes the simplest actions carry the most weight. A genuine smile when someone feels unnoticed, a listening ear when they're struggling or remembering a detail they mentioned weeks ago. All of these moments communicate attention, care, and recognition. When people feel seen and valued, even in small ways, it awakens a sense of trust and safety that is the foundation of emotional connection. Kindness signals that you are present not only physically, but emotionally, that you are willing to invest your time and energy into another person's well-being. Over time, these small gestures accumulate, creating a web of subtle but powerful influence. Someone who consistently experiences your thoughtfulness begins to associate you with comfort, warmth, and understanding, often without consciously realizing it. The brain responds to kindness with the release of chemicals that reinforce positive emotions, making the person more receptive and open to forming a bond. Emotional connections built through kindness are different from those formed through charm or superficial attraction because they are based on sincerity and empathy. They are resilient, capable of withstanding misunderstandings or conflicts because the foundation is built on genuine concern. Importantly, the impact of kindness is rarely one-sided. When you act with compassion, you also strengthen your own emotional intelligence, patience, and sense of connection to others. Even when unacknowledged, your small acts of kindness plant seeds in someone's mind and heart, influencing how they perceive you and how they relate to the world. Over time, these seeds can grow into trust, attachment, and deep affection, showing that true emotional bonds often start with the quietest, simplest expressions of care. One of the most profound reasons someone falls in love is not because of what you do for them or how you look, but because of how you make them feel about themselves. Human beings are wired to seek affirmation and emotional resonance. And when someone consistently experiences positive feelings in your presence, those emotions begin to attach themselves to you. It could be the way you listen without judgment, allowing them to express their thoughts freely, or how you offer encouragement in moments of doubt, making them feel capable and valued. Even simple gestures, like remembering something important to them or showing appreciation for their efforts, communicate a sense of recognition that many people spend their lives longing for. When someone feels understood, seen, and appreciated, it creates a sense of safety and warmth that is rare in most interactions. This emotional impact lingers long after the moment has passed. They begin to associate you with those positive feelings, and over time, those associations deepen into affection, admiration, and eventually love. It is not about manipulation or flattery. It is about authenticity and genuine regard. People instinctively gravitate to those who make them feel better about themselves, because being around such individuals elevates their emotional state and nourishes their sense of self. In relationships, this dynamic becomes even more powerful because it taps into the deepest human need for connection and affirmation. By uplifting someone emotionally, you create a bond that is more enduring than physical attraction or superficial charm. Love formed in this way is rooted in the heart, not the ego, because it is based on the intangible but undeniable feeling of being valued and cherished for who one truly is. True acceptance is one of the most powerful catalysts for deep emotional connection because it gives others the freedom to reveal who they genuinely are. When someone senses that they will not be judged for their thoughts, feelings, or vulnerabilities, they gradually lower the walls they have built around themselves. Acceptance is not about ignoring flaws or pretending everything is perfect. It is about acknowledging reality without criticism or the need to control. This creates a safe emotional environment where people feel seen and understood on a fundamental level. In the presence of true acceptance, individuals are more willing to share their fears, dreams, and insecurities, parts of themselves they might hide from most of the world. They feel liberated from the pressure to perform, to impress, or to conform to external expectations. This openness fosters a unique intimacy because it allows for a genuine exchange of emotions and thoughts. The more someone experiences acceptance, the more they begin to trust, and trust naturally strengthens the emotional bond between two people. Acceptance also communicates respect. By embracing another person as they are, you show that their identity matters, that their emotions are valid, and that their inner world is worthy of attention. People instinctively gravitate toward those who make them feel this way because it is both comforting and affirming. Relationships built on acceptance tend to be more resilient because they are founded on authenticity rather than pretense. Even when disagreements or conflicts arise, the underlying sense of mutual respect and understanding preserves the connection. Over time, this creates a profound closeness that goes beyond surface-level attraction, allowing both individuals to grow and thrive together emotionally. True acceptance, therefore, is not just a kindness, it is a bridge to genuine intimacy and lasting emotional connection. Love rarely announces itself with grand gestures or dramatic declarations. More often, it grows quietly, almost imperceptibly, through subtle behaviors and consistent attention that shows someone they matter. It is in the small details that love silently weaves its presence, remembering the way they like their coffee, noticing when something is off in their mood, or offering help without being asked. These actions may seem minor in the moment, but they accumulate over time, creating a sense of emotional intimacy that is difficult to break. When someone experiences this kind of attentiveness consistently, it communicates care and reliability without words. Subtle behaviors also include the way you listen fully when they speak, not just hearing their words, but understanding the emotions behind them. Eye contact that lingers with warmth, a reassuring tone in your voice, or a gentle gesture at just the right moment can all silently convey affection. The beauty of this quiet growth is that it does not feel forced or performative. It is natural, unhurried, and rooted in genuine concern. People respond to this attentiveness with trust, openness, and eventually attachment, because they sense that you are emotionally present in ways that go beyond superficial interaction. Over time, these small but consistent expressions of care create a psychological and emotional bond that can surpass even the most overt displays of love. It is in the accumulation of these quiet moments, these repeated acts of subtle attention, that the heart begins to lean toward another person. Love, in its purest form, often grows invisibly at first, like a seed taking root beneath the soil, nourished by the steady drip of kindness, thoughtfulness, and presence. It is this quiet, persistent nurturing that allows love to flourish deeply and endure. Many people fail to recognize the depth of someone as love until the moment has already passed, and by then, the realization often carries a bittersweet weight. Love is not always loud or obvious. It frequently exists in subtle actions, quiet attentiveness, and unspoken support that can be easily overlooked when we are caught up in the busyness of life or distracted by our own concerns. Someone may have been consistently present for you, offered comfort when you were struggling, or celebrated your successes without seeking recognition. Yet it can all go unnoticed because it does not conform to the dramatic expressions of love we often expect. When the person who is loved finally steps back and reflects on the past, they begin to see the patterns, the little sacrifices, the patience, the unwavering emotional presence that they previously took for granted. This delayed awareness can lead to profound regret, not because the love was insufficient, but because it was subtle and easily dismissed in the moment. Often, the one who gave love did so without demanding acknowledgement or reward, quietly enriching another person as life in ways that are only fully appreciated in hindsight. By the time the recognition dawns, circumstances may have changed, opportunities may have passed, or the other person may have moved on, leaving a lingering sense of what might have been. This is a reminder that love is not always about immediate validation or overt expressions. It is about consistent, sincere investment in another person as life. It also teaches the importance of awareness and gratitude in relationships, of noticing the care that surrounds you before it slips away. Recognizing love in real time allows connections to deepen, prevents misunderstandings, and ensures that the emotional bonds that have been quietly built are honored while they still exist. Those who fail to see it until later often carry the lessons with them, learning the true value of subtle, enduring affection. And so, the lesson is simple but profound. Love often does not announce itself with fanfare, and its deepest expressions are felt more than they are seen. Someone may already be holding a piece of their heart for you, quietly, patiently, and without expectation, through subtle attention, genuine acceptance, and simple acts of care. The choice is yours to notice it, honor it, and respond before the moment slips away. Do not wait for grand gestures or dramatic confessions to recognize what has been quietly unfolding. Open your eyes to the signals, cherish the presence of those who value you, and let your heart respond to the love that is already there. Because sometimes the greatest connections are found not in the noise of the world, but in the silent, steady bond that has been quietly waiting all along.